Welcome into Steelers Talk by Chat Sports. I'm Megan Payton. We are talking trade rumors today, but first we are going to shout out our presenting sponsor, which is BetQL. If you guys are ready to finally beat your sports book, go check out chatsports.com/SteelersQL. We're going to tell you all about them later on. And as always, this is in the description. But the trade deadline is approaching. Trade deadline is November 2nd. So this is when things really start to, heat up. People are talking about it. We're trying to figure out what the Steelers' intentions are. Are they going to be looking to get rid of some of their own guys? Are they going to be trading for other guys out there? But right now we are going to be talking about Steelers trade candidates, meaning guys on the Steelers that they could get rid of and hopefully get something good in return. Now, the first one, I'm sure you've heard the rumors already, but Joe Haden is the first guy I'd like to talk to you guys about. Obviously, you guys might have heard that the Cowboys were apparently showing interest. Joe Haden makes sense. They could use another corner currently with what they're working with. So I don't know how real and accurate that is, but Joe Haden is, typically a guy that's pretty dominant. Now this year he's been okay, I'd say. He's had 20 tackles, he's given up 217 yards, he's given up a touchdown, but he has had 2 pass breakups. So not fantastic, to be honest, but I think the question would be, hey, could the Steelers give him up and get something really good in return? That would really be the key deciding factor if I'm making that decision, is what could they get? Now, I've also heard Raiders could potentially be interested, where they, get rid of Marcus Mariota. And I don't know if the Steelers would want that anyway, but we're going to get into a lot of other guys. This is just the first one that has been rumored, coming up with Raiders, coming up with Cowboys. But before we get into other guys, I do want you guys to give me your thoughts. Who do you think the Steelers should trade on their own team? Go to the comments right now and choose someone from the Steelers that you like to see traded. Next up on our trade candidate list is Melvin Ingram. Now, he's an interesting one because, he just ended up at the Steelers. I think he signed back in July. Obviously, when you think Melvin Ingram, you think about his long career with the Chargers. He was drafted in 2012, spent 9 years with the Chargers. He's only on a 1-year contract with the Steelers. Now, he really hasn't gotten to see a ton of playing time. He's, played a little bit, and he's actually played in every game, but he's kind of been used as just a guy to almost like a backup, which is just surprising. He's been used in special situations. And so there are other teams that maybe are saying, hey, we could utilize him a lot more. And the Chiefs right now, I feel like they have top interest. That's what we're hearing right now. So maybe, again, depending on what we could get from Melvin Ingram. Now, the problem is he's going to be pretty cheap as far as it's good for what a team could get. They're not going to have to pay him a lot of money because the Steelers already paid him that signing bonus. But in return, are they going to get a lot? I don't know. I mean, you might be looking at like a late 4th, 5th round pick. So it's all depending on how much the Steelers would get if they were to give up a guy like Melvin Ingram. But I think that it is likely to happen. I think Melvin Ingram probably wants more time. He wants to be playing more. He doesn't want to be in that kind of backup role. And I think the Steelers wouldn't lose out a ton by getting rid of him. So I'm going to ask you guys, do you think the Steelers should trade Melvin Ingram? Type T for trade or type K for keep? I'll go ahead and say trade for this one because, again, we're not seeing a ton of Melvin Ingram in the last few weeks. So I think you could potentially get something worth it in return. Now, I want to tell you guys about our presenting sponsor, which is BetQL. If you guys are betting at all this season, you might be losing, and it's time to switch that. That is what BetQL does amazing. They give you the best bet recommendations, everything from player props, over, under, spreads, you name it. They are going to have the best recommendations. They rank all of their recommendations on a star scale. So 1 star, they're feeling okay, confident in it, and then 5 stars, that's their best bet. Go to chatsports.com/SteelersQL. You've got to use the promo code ChatSteelers. You're going to get 25% off all of their subscription offerings, and make sure you go check out BetQL. Let's get back to Steelers trade candidates, though. Next guy on the list is Eric Ebron. Now, man, have we not seen much of him? And it makes sense. And it makes sense like now where Juju's out, we're probably going to see a little bit more out of Eric Ebron. But, he's been that tight end that hasn't been super dominant. Let's be honest. So far, he's had 7 receptions, 47 yards, an average of 6.7 yards, and no touchdowns. So, they spin a draft pick on Pat Freiermuth. They're believing in him as a tight end. And so I understand the rumors and the possibility that Eric Ebron could get traded. But here's what I'm saying. Right now, you're dealing with wide receiver injuries. You've got Juju out for the rest of the season. Chase Claypool, he's getting banged up a lot. Deontay Johnson, okay, sure, you've got him. But if Pat Freiermuth gets hurt, you've got a lot of issues there. So I say hold on to him. He's someone that I would keep around right now just until you get healthier, because you don't want to be in a situation where you've only got 2 guys you could throw to. You've only got Deontay or Pat Freiermuth. You want to be able to spread the ball. And I think that even though he's not getting a ton of, targets, that's okay. I think Eric Ebron is someone that I would hang on to, though he hasn't been playing fantastic. So maybe if a team was willing to give a lot for him, we would reconsider. But I like holding on to Eric Ebron. So now I'm going to ask you, because obviously as this deadline approaches, there's different ways you can go about it. The Steelers could absolutely be on the buying side. And that's typically when, you're looking to win this season. You're saying, I'm going to get a guy right now. This is going to help me get to the playoffs this year. And here we go. Or they could be on the selling side where they're saying, right now, we know it's not our year. Let's get some more draft picks. The Steelers don't have a lot of draft picks for 2022, so maybe this would be in their benefit. Go to the comments right now, though. Let me know, should the Steelers be on the buying side of things? Type B for buyers, or should they be on the selling side? Type S for sellers. Now, BetQL, like I said, they give best bet recommendations so you can absolutely beat your sports book. Well, it's a perfect combination that they're doing. They're partnering with MGM. And now if you go to chatsports.com/SteelersMGM, all you've got to do is create an account, deposit $10 into your account. You can bet on whatever you'd like, but after you bet, you're going to get a free year of BetQL. 24 hours later, you will now have a free year of BetQL. This is the perfect deal so you can place your bets, get the best bet recommendations. Make sure you go check out chatsports.com/SteelersMGM. Now, the last guy I want to bring up, it's nothing new. You guys have heard this before. James Washington. Now, James Washington rumors, if you don't remember, this all came up before the season even started. He was, rumored to have asked for a trade, saying that he didn't like, his role here in Pittsburgh. He wasn't getting the playing time that he wanted. He wanted out. But, the Pittsburgh Steelers denied all of these rumors. So how much of that is true, we don't know. But we do know that James Washington is definitely not getting the starting reps. And that's just realistic. So is he satisfied in Pittsburgh? He might not be. Now he's obviously, again, going to be a guy that gets utilized a little bit more now that Juju's out. But so far he's had 10 receptions, 108 yards. He hasn't had a touchdown, and his longest was 30. And so I think James Washington, this would be someone that I hate to say it because I do think that he's kind of a consistent person. He's someone that can win you games. You're not going to maybe see him a ton, but he's little by little going to help you win. So I wouldn't necessarily love for the Steelers to get rid of James Washington, but I would understand. I understand where he's coming from and saying that, look, I'm not getting the playing time. And, he was only targeted once last week against the Seahawks. So I do think that there's probably a little bit of tension there that they don't want to talk about. So it wouldn't blow me away if the Steelers were more open to doing a trade with him. But I'm asking you guys now, should Pittsburgh give up on Washington? If you think it's time, type Y for yes. And if not, type N for no. Now, we are going to keep you guys updated all season long. We've got trade rumors continuing all the way up until November 2nd. We're going to have game recaps. We're going to have game previews. Obviously, Steelers on a bye right now, but it is going to get back in action, and they are going to be playing again. We're going to get some injury updates, all of this to come. So please make sure you are subscribed.